How do we think about Samson's updated pictures?
Look, Samson is specimen.
What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So let's start this video with Andrew Jacked, who is looking really jacked at about 12 weeks out of this upcoming Arnold. So there are gonna be some people who falsely accuse Andrew of having oil in his triceps. I personally think his triceps are very unique looking. In fact, he probably has one of the best overall arms in the men's open bodybuilding at the moment. You know the hype is gonna be real, and it is gonna be really intense between Samson Dauda and Andrew Jacked. When Chris Lewis aka Psycho Fitness, he starts posting those comparisons between both these guys. So I do not remember seeing these pictures of Andrew Jacked, and especially his back double biceps. So it might have been taken for his past Miss Olympia prep. And the back double, I have got to say, is no longer a weak shot for Andrew, especially when he is on, and more specifically in his upper half. Now do not look at the Olympia stage pictures for comparisons. Just take a look at his back double biceps from this year's Texas Pro, and that is enough to justify that Andrew made some crazy gains in the back department in the last couple of years. Now Andrew's potential speaks out loud, with him placing top 5 at the Olympia for 2 years in a row, and the fact that he wasn't even on at both these past Miss Olympias, that is just nuts. And he was still able to beat so many great bodybuilders. So the last time Andrew stepped on the Arnold stage, that was back in 2023. And that was the most ripped version of Andrew Jacked. So combine that with all the new size that he has added in the last 1 year, and that Andrew is gonna be battling it out for this upcoming Arnold title, even against Samson Dauda. Now Andrew's lack of thickness in these side shots, that will matter, but I have got to say, not a lot, especially if he shows up in a mind-blowing condition, because he has some shots where he is just so damn undeniable, and he is so hard to beat by each and every single bodybuilder, including the reigning Miss Olympia, Samson Dauda. And those shots are the front double biceps, the front lat spread, and the abs and thigh. Well, talking about Samson Dauda, the experts really see that he's coming into his own, as Jay and Milos reacted to Samson's 320 pounds off-season update that he posted a week back.
That it keeps improving from show to show, and it's scary to think how good he can be.
So normally the fans and even the bodybuilders who competed against Ronnie Coleman, they become so furious when any bodybuilder, especially of this current era, that is compared to Ronnie Coleman, because he was just in a league of his own. But this might be the very first time most of the fans and the experts, they see some comparisons between Samson and Ronnie, and they see it as pretty reasonable.
You know, so somebody compared to Ronnie, yes, very comparable. I mean, this once in a lifetime kind of athlete.
And let me remind you guys something. Samson Dauda has something that Ronnie lost during the later part of his career, and that was having a small waistline. And that is why Ronnie never said that his favorite physique on the stage, that was either 2003 or 2004, because that is what normally people pick. But Ronnie himself goes back to his 1998 Miss Olympia physique, because that year he had crazy symmetry, or the Arnold 2021 look, when he competed below 250 pounds. Yes, you guys heard that right. So will there be a time when a guy like Samson Dauda will become impossible to beat? Well, we will be able to answer that question in about 12 weeks time from now, because as of right now, Samson's fate, that is in his own hands. As long as he's able to bring the condition, a similar condition that we saw this year at the Olympia, as long as he keeps on improving his back, do not be surprised if Samson gets the reputation of a very dominant Olympia champion, because the man is just so damn big, and on top of all that, he is so aesthetic and so well put up together.
I mean, it's going to be impossible pretty much to beat him, unless, again, he slipped up, shaded conditioning a little bit, and maybe.
Next up, we have the off-season physique update from Blessing Awodibu. So he claims to be weighing the same as Samson Dauda, which is more than 320 pounds. And just the thought of that is just so crazy. His upper body definitely looks bigger than ever, and is far from being out of shape for being that big. But will he be able to maintain that size during the prep, especially when he's about to step on stage, and more specifically on his lower half? Because that is an unanswered question, and probably the only thing that matters, because Blessing's upper half, that has always been super impressive. He has crazy round muscle bellies, very 3D, he has a good vacuum, and he has great muscularity overall in the upper half. He has a super back as well, but we have seen him losing a lot of volume on his legs, as he gets closer and closer to the show. So this probably has been the longest off-season of Blessing that he has taken in years. And if that doesn't grow his legs, if that doesn't improve his quads, I'm afraid nothing ever will. So Blessing said he has another 3 weeks before this long off-season ends. So he's gonna start prepping in January. So I believe most of these guys, they are either doing Detroit Pro or the Pittsburgh Pro and the New York Pro. So Blessing prepping for the very first time with Stefan, that definitely puts an element of surprise there, because the film was probably going to be peeled on the stage, as the track record shows that Stefan has been truly incredible with almost all of his athletes. So after such a long break from competing, Blessing is going to hit a number of shows next year, hoping to get his Olympia qualification. So just before the official Arnold Classic Ohio competitors lists are out, the reigning Classic Physique champion of the Arnold, he makes it official that he is in the right mindset to defend this upcoming Arnold, and based on the recent physique updates that Wesley posted, it seems like he was able to stay very lean and very sharp in the post-Olympia phase. So this past Miss Olympia and him placing top 8, that must have really broken his confidence, because just a few months ago, Wesley was being portrayed as the guy who's gonna beat Chris Bumstead, or at the very least, give Cbum the toughest battle of his life. But it was a totally different result that not just Wesley, but none of the bodybuilding experts would have imagined. So the question right now is that, is Wesley the favorite to win this upcoming Arnold in March? Well, considering that the top guys, most of them aren't doing this show, he's definitely one of the favorites. But we saw at this past Miss Olympia is that even if Wesley is just a tiny bit off, it is just so easy for the judges to mark him down, because he has some major flaws, like a wider waist and not having enough hamstrings to match up with his upper body, and not having enough quad sweep. So he wants to win 3 shows next year, and 2 of them are most likely gonna be the Arnold Ohio and the Arnold UK. But he isn't just mentioning winning the Olympia next year, because this time, the Classic Physique Miss Olympia title is gonna be vacant after 6 years. So this Olympia did impact his overall confidence, and the only explanation Wesley had for his placing was that these 2 shows, they are judged kinda differently, because in Wesley's mind, he was on for the Olympia as well. Chris Bumstead and his wife, they must be going through such a hard time of their lives after losing their dog, a member of their family, for so many years. Now all of us who own a pet, we can understand the pain of losing a pet. So I pray to God, may He give them the strength to go through this difficult time and all that added support to go through one of the hardest time of their lives. So they put up this post on Instagram, and Cbum also posted a training update, training his shoulders after taking 4 weeks completely off from training and dieting in gym. And he told us all that he wants to get stronger and more active so that he can play basketball, weighing close to 250 pounds. Now it was a hint that maybe Chris doesn't intend to downsize, and he is gonna continue eating and training hard. And then this terrible news came out. Now nobody had more success than Cbum in the last decade or so. And after saying goodbye to the sport of bodybuilding, a major part of his career, at such a high note, losing a dear pet that he also considered his child. So my condolences go out to his family. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.